Today I'm showing you how to make my best 5 no-bake desserts. Hi, I'm Cassie Joy Garcia of Fed and Fit, and today we're showing you the best no-bake desserts. No-bake desserts are lovely because they're egg-free. All of mine are dairy-free. They come together in the refrigerator. They're so fast and easy, made with nutritious ingredients, and they're great for when you want to satisfy that sweet tooth, but you don't want a whole lot of extra sugar. First up, we're going to be making these peanut butter chocolate oat cookies that are no-bake, chocolate chip cookie dough bites that are so yummy. You can even add extra protein to them. Pecan bourbon truffles that are fabulous, especially around the holidays. Pumpkin mousse pie that is no-bake, it's so fluffy. And then last but not least is one of the all-time Fed and Fit reader favorites, our no-bake cheesecake that we're going to make with a really decadent cranberry topping. First up, let's make these peanut butter chocolate oatmeal cookies, no bake. So fun. 6 ingredients, let's go through them. So first up, we have rolled oats. Make sure it says rolled oats so that they're nice and fluffy and you can bite through them. Peanut butter. I like a smooth peanut butter. If you can't do peanuts, you can substitute with sun butter or almond butter. Pick your favorite, they all work. We've got some cocoa powder to help give it the really yummy chocolate flavor. We have coconut oil, which are going to melt, and you can sub this with butter, you can sub this with ghee, pick your favorite. As long as it's solid at room temperature, you're gonna be in good shape. This is what helps hold the cookie together at the end. We've got maple syrup for our sweetener, so a very natural sweetener, love it. And then last, a little vanilla extract to help make it all taste great. And what I'm gonna do, I am preparing a baking sheet with parchment paper, but it's just so that it has a really good place to set in the refrigerator. So I'm just folding my parchment paper over so it fits on this baking sheet. Let's go whip them together. First thing we're gonna do is put that coconut oil into a small saucepan, followed by the maple syrup and our vanilla extract. Put it on the stove over medium-low heat till it bubbles like this. Add in the peanut butter and give it a stir. You can use a spatula or a whisk. Don't lose heart, it will come together. Then add in those rolled oats and your cocoa powder. Stir those together until you get a really smooth, even dough. And it looks like this. I like to use a cookie scoop to get even spoonfuls, or you could also use a spoon. But scoop it and put it onto your parchment paper or Silpat, whatever you've got handy that won't stick. And then I'm just going to flatten these out just a touch so that they really look like cute little cookies. Pop them into the fridge. Next, we're gonna make our cookie dough bites, and these are chocolate chip, chocolate covered. They're so delicious, and if you like to eat raw cookie dough like I do, this is a really great alternative with all super safe ingredients. So first up, we have cashew butter is one of our main ingredients in these cookie dough bites, and I like cashew butter because it's really mild, it's so super creamy. It's delicious. You can substitute it with peanut butter, almond butter. Those will all still work. That's just my favorite. Maple syrup is our sweetener. Again, one of my favorite sweeteners. And then for a little bit of flour, a little bit of body, we are using either almond flour or oat flour. You can substitute either one. Some coconut oil. It won't taste like coconut, but you can definitely use ghee or butter if you prefer. Just needs to be solid at room temperature. A little vanilla extract, a little pinch of sea salt, and then some chocolate chips. First things first, we're going to add that cashew butter into a medium to large size mixing bowl. Add in the coconut oil. If yours is not soft like this, go ahead and melt it. Stir those two together until it's really even. Add your sea salt, your maple syrup, the flour, and then your chocolate chips. Add as many as you like. There's really no rhyme or reason here. Give those a stir until everything's nice and even. But you'll see how that dough is a little liquidy, so I'm gonna add a little more flour because I want it to hold up if I rolled it into a ball. That was perfect. Now we're gonna melt some chocolate chips. You can use a double boiler or the microwave. I have the instructions below. Using a cookie scoop, I'm going to scoop that delicious dough into little balls. This is a number 40 scoop in case you're curious. We'll have it linked below. Scoop, 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 put it on parchment paper, and then use your melted chocolate and embrace your inner Jackson Pollock and drizzle to your heart's desire. Oh my gosh. How good do these look? I like to drizzle in a crossways pattern. Last touch, sprinkle with a little bit of a flaky sea salt. Next up, we're making our pecan bourbon truffles. These are fabulous. I love to make these around the holidays. They just feel so festive. And I'm gonna walk you through all the swaps. But first, what's in these? So we have some dark chocolate that we're going to melt down. This is the base of our truffle. It's a chocolate truffle that is flavored with a little bit of bourbon, just a little bit, goes in all of them. Things you can swap the bourbon out for are, gosh, you could just use a little bit of water to add that little bit of moisture in. You could add a little bit more vanilla extract, orange extract, play with it. Bourbon's not required, but it is lovely. A little vanilla extract, some heavy cream, which you can swap for full fat coconut milk in the can, the kind that doesn't have any, wild additives. And then once all those truffles come together and they're super yummy, we're going to roll them in some fresh crusted pecans. Nothing says festive and holidays like pecans in my book. Let's get started. First things first, we're gonna add that heavy cream into a small to medium saucepan and put it over the stove until it starts to simmer. Then we will add our crushed up chocolate right on in there, the bourbon, hello, sea salt, and vanilla extract. I like to use a whisk, stir everything up, but the heat will help melt it. And if you need a little extra help, pop it back on the stove. This is what it looks like once it is totally melted and then chilled. Using that same number 40 cookie scoop, gonna roll into little balls and then roll it around in those crushed pecans. Next, we're gonna make my famous amongst my family members. Pumpkin mousse pie. This pie is so fluffy and delicious, and it's honestly what I crave, sometimes more than a typical pumpkin pie. So in this pie, we have some brown sugar, we have a whole can of pumpkin puree, cream cheese. The cream cheese and the pumpkin puree, we're gonna beat that together to build the base of our pie, some pumpkin pie spice, sea salt, a little vanilla extract. We're gonna make a really fast whipped cream with a pint of heavy cream. And then all of that is going to be layered lovingly, fluffingly on top of a graham cracker crust. And the graham cracker crust is just 2 ingredients. Some graham crackers. This is my favorite graham cracker for a crust. It's the Knick gluten-free graham crackers. And butter. Blend that together, make a crust, pour it up, and your guests will be so impressed. Step 1, let's make that crust. We're going to put the graham crackers into a food processor with our softened butter and just pulse it until it looks like this. Spoon that into the bottom of your pie dish and then just use your hands and press it around until you get a nice little even pie crust. And it's just so cute. Now we're going to make that whipped cream. A pint of heavy cream goes into a large bowl. You can use a hand mixer or stand mixer, but that's it. Now for the filling. A can of pumpkin puree, that softened cream cheese, brown sugar, vanilla extract, pumpkin pie spice, and a little bit of sea salt. And then using your hand mixer or stand mixer again, blend on low to medium and keep going. It's gonna look lumpy until it doesn't. Now we're gonna fold in that whipped cream. And I like to start off with about 1/3 of it just to get it started. This is what it looks like to fold semi-gently. And then keep going until it's all in there and fluffy and lovely and you wanna jump into it. Look at that. Now that lovely mousse gets poured right on into the pie crust. The key to this is to not overmix that filling and then just press it into the crust, smooth it out, and refrigerate until you're ready. The last one we're making today is the no-bake cheesecake bars. Oh my gosh. If I had to pick a favorite, this would definitely be it. They're so easy. The cheesecake base is just 4 ingredients, and we're gonna top it today in kind of a holiday festive spirit with a really delicious cranberry topping. Fun fact, if you have leftover cranberry sauce from a holiday occasion, you can use that. You don't have to make what I'm about to make, just use your leftover cranberry sauce. You get the same thing. Okay, so what I've got out here are frozen cranberries that have thawed a little bit. If you can find fresh, that's great. Some orange juice, some cinnamon, and some maple syrup. This is going to be our cranberry sauce, the cranberry topping for these cheesecake bars. The base of our cheesecake is cream cheese that's softened, so make sure you get out your softened cream cheese so that's ready to go. And then we have condensed milk. So this is actually a condensed coconut milk. You can use condensed milk that's full dairy, it doesn't matter, but I want you to know that the dairy-free option does work, and you could actually use a dairy-free cream cheese. I've tested it, it also works that way. A little lemon juice and a little vanilla extract, and that's all you need for this cheesecake base. It's so easy. I can't wait to make this with you. And then the crust, everything that this gets smeared on is, again, another gluten-free graham cracker crust. You can use regular graham crackers if you choose. It's a double batch. So we have a stick and a half of butter, softened butter also, that we're going to blend with these graham crackers and press it. Get out your 9x13 pan. This is my favorite. Can't go wrong with this Pyrex glass dish. And we're gonna make a really thick, nice, yummy, crunchy base so that it really holds up our cheesecake bars. Oh my goodness, you're going to feel like a hero when you make these. Let's whip them together. We're gonna start off by making that cranberry sauce from scratch. So the cranberries go into a medium to large saucepan with orange juice, maple syrup, and a little cinnamon. Give it a stir. I like to put the lid on and then put that over the stove medium-low heat until it's reduced and all those berries have burst. When I'm making a double batch of crust, I like to pre-pulse the graham crackers before I add the softened butter. Helps it all come together a little bit easier. That graham cracker crust goes into the bottom of our Pyrex dish, and then just use your hands to press it into the bottom layer. No need to go up the sides, it's just the bottom. Now that cranberry sauce is gorgeous. This simmered 5 to 10 minutes. See, those berries are popped? That's when you know it's done. I'm gonna speed cool this off in a bowl of ice. Now let's make the filling. So we have our softened cream cheese into a large bowl that we're gonna add that condensed milk. Don't worry about the condensed milk separating, it'll all come together. Add the vanilla and the juice of that lemon. Using your hand or stand mixer on medium-low speed, mix until it starts to come together, and don't lose heart if it looks lumpy. It will smooth out. And if your cream cheese is cold, it will look lumpy, but don't worry, it's going to taste great. Spoon that over top of the crust, spread it out into one even layer. And then when your cranberry sauce is cool to the touch, go ahead and spoon it over the top. And spread it out as best you can. Once it's all spread out, I'll dip that little spatula into the cream cheese base to make a marble effect.